have another good story for you today. You ready? Long, long ago, in a land where shadows whispered and sunlit villages thrived, there lived two wives and their two daughters. One was kind and humble, the other was cruel and greedy. What happened when each was sent into the forbidden forest? This tale reveals how kindness can open doors to blessings and how greed can summon ruin. So come closer and listen to the story of the two pots. To begin, remember, when I say story, you say story. And when I say once upon a time, you say time. Are you ready? Story. Once upon a time. Well done. You're learning every day. I love it for you. I'm ready. Are you ready? Good job. Long, long ago, in a village wrapped in sun and shadows, there lived a man with two wives. The first wife, she was gentle and kind. The second wife, she was proud and cruel. Each woman had one daughter, as different in spirit as the sun and the moon. The first wife's daughter was humble and sweet. She grew up with patience and grace. The second wife's daughter, though, she was spoiled and naughty, and she followed her mother's wicked ways. The house was filled with quarrels, spiteful words, cruel tricks, lies. Every single day there was no peace to be had until one day the second wife devised a wicked plan. She had gone to the market the previous day where she heard from someone in the market that there was an old woman in the forest who could make anyone who dared to enter the forest wealthy. Many had attempted that trip but didn't live to tell the stories of what happened to them afterwards. Nobody knew what was in the forest or who this old woman was. And so the second wife thought it would be the perfect plan to get rid of the first wife's child. So she sent the first wife's daughter on the errand with hopes that she would not return. She sent this girl deep into the forest, a place where even adults were scared to go. And so on this day, even though the girl was frightened, she obeyed. She couldn't do anything but obey. And so she walked carefully and made that journey alone. The woods were thick. The wind was trembling. She walked and walked until she found a strange hut in the heart of the forest. And there she met an old woman, bent with age, leaning on a stick. The girl greeted her warmly with respect. Ko iye, she went on her knees. The old woman looked at her and she smiled. With her brown teeth that had gone brown from chewing snuff all the time. But she welcomed the girl into her home and gave her some water to drink. The girl was thankful and appreciated the woman for her kindness. And then the old woman asked her, "Young girl, what are you even doing in this forest all by yourself?" The young girl broke down in tears and told the old woman everything that had happened and why she was there. She told the old woman it was her stepmother who had sent her out to the forest to look for somebody who had pots and to collect one. The old woman said to her, "It appears you were sent to find me." The girl suddenly became anxious, her eyes darting left, right, center, looking to see if there were skeletons hanging around. The old woman looked at her and smiled. "You have nothing to be scared of, my dear. I mean you no harm. You haven't caused me any harm, and neither will I cause you harm as well. But what happens next will be down to your own free will." And so the old woman pointed to 7 pots of different sizes laid out in the corner of the room. "Choose one," she said to the girl, "but choose wisely." The girl sat down, deep in thought. She hesitated where she sat for a few minutes, thinking and thinking. Then she got up, walked over to where the pots were, and picked up the smallest one. Simple, humble, and probably overlooked. The old woman looked at her and smiled. She didn't say a word about the pots or what the girl had done. But then she said, "You must head home now. It's getting late." She told the girl, "I have instructions for you. Listen carefully. On your way home, there are rules you must follow. When you're out there and you hear the sound of the drum, run into the bushes and hide yourself. Be quick and be quiet. But when you hear the sound of wind chimes, run out and run as fast as you can. As soon as you reach your home and you enter into your compound, break that pot you're holding, she said to the girl. The girl thanks the woman and she made her journey home. The forest was much darker now. The sun was starting to set. The trees whispered secrets as the wind blew. Suddenly, she heard the sounds of the drum. She dove into the bushes and hid herself, covered herself until she heard the sound of the wind chimes. And then she came out and ran as fast as her tiny legs could carry her. In fact, you can say she was as swift as the wind, if the wind has tiny legs. But she followed the instructions of the old woman. So every time she heard boom, 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 she would run and hide. And when she heard the sound of the chime, she would come out and run. She did that every time until she got home safely. Her mother saw her and ran to greet her at the gate. Without hesitation, the girl took the pot and smashed it on the ground. And from the pot, all wonderful things sprung. Gold coins, silk cloth, precious gems, enough to enrich not just her family, but the whole village for generations. They even shared their bounty with the people who came by and the wicked stepmother and her daughter. But can you imagine what happened next? The stepmother saw that the first wife was now wealthy. She couldn't have that. And so she burned with jealousy. She got to her daughter and ordered her immediately, hey, you must go to that forest and bring our own pots because we cannot be here while those people are richer than us. She demanded that her daughter leave immediately. But her daughter was spoiled. She was reluctant. She grumbled and complained and screamed and threw tantrums and shouted and cried. She spent hours wasting time. When she finally decided to make the journey, the sun was already high in the sky, burning hot. So she was sweating as she walked and kicking every animal or insect that crossed her path. She was so furious. She walked and walked and walked until she arrived at the heart of the forest and found the old woman's hut. She went there and knocked. Caw, caw, caw. When the old woman came, she did not even greet her. She just looked at her, eyed her from top to bottom. I came here to collect my pot. Give it to me now. Let me be going home. The old woman looked at her surprised. Really? She said, yes, now, really. I came here to collect my pot. You gave one to that other stupid girl that came here yesterday. So give me my own now. The old woman said, okay. The pots are over there. Go and collect the one you want. She entered the room immediately, picked up the largest pots on the wall. The old woman looked at her and smiled. She gave her the same instructions as she gave the other girl the previous day. Hide at the sound of the drum. Come out at the sound of the chimes and run immediately. As soon as you get home, when you enter your compound, break the pots. The girl was arrogant and careless. She didn't pay a single attention to what the old woman said. And so on her way, she heard the sound of the chimes and she ran into the bushes to hide. She covered herself up. But at the sound of the drum, boom, she came out and started to walk. Each time she came out, the spirits and the masquerades found her. With long lashes, they would choke her and flog her and beat her up. They chased her through the shadows. Yet she never learned. Not even once did she hide at the sound of the drum. She always hid at the sound of the chime and came out at the sound of the drum. Ridiculous if you ask me, but she continued that way until she was bloodied and battered. She stumbled into the village and she got home, panting and tired. Once again, she entered her compound, saw her mother and decided, Mommy, come inside, let's go inside, fast, fast, fast. She didn't listen to what the old woman said again. And so they locked themselves inside the hut, bolted every door and window, making sure that nobody could see them. And then the girl smashed the pot in the middle of the room. Boom! They were expecting to see gold and all the shiny things, but instead, guess what came out? Vipers and scorpions, fire ants, everything that you can think about, cockroaches, everything disgusting, every nightmare giving life. They screamed and screamed and screamed. Their screams filled the entire village. But no one dared open that door. No one could rescue them because who would want to be in that sort of situation? Definitely not me. And so it was that greed and cruelty brought about their own punishment, while kindness and humility leads the path to true abundance. And that, my friend, is the story of the two daughters and the pots of fate. And so, the forest has taught a very serious lesson. Wealth gained through kindness blesses everyone, while greed consumes itself from within. What do you think? If you stood before the 7 pots, which one would you choose? Share your thoughts with me in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more folk tales from across the world. Until next time, may your heart always choose wisely. My name is Zuati, and I'm the Keeper of Tales. I'll see you next time.